Blockchain. You've no doubt heard this word recently, and it's no wonder. Blockchain is a revolutionary system which will basically make many of life's annoying things disappear. Essentially, the world as it currently runs needs to produce, manage and store a huge amount of certified information at all times. Every day, every hour, every second. Until now, this has been managed by humans. Humans, those slow, forgetful, corruptible, lazy and hedonistic beings. The idea with blockchain is for this work to be carried out by another type of being, ones which are incorruptible, efficient, hardworking and quicker by the day. Computers. But we already know that the main weakness of an IT system is it's hackable. How does blockchain prevent this? Not with a super powerful antivirus or with a vigorous firewall. Blockchain protects itself thanks to its own structure, its own architecture. What is this protective structure? Blockchain, as its name implies, means that it is a chain of blocks which contain information. Every block can contain different types of information. The most famous example is Bitcoin, but there are many others. What does each block have? 3 things. The first, the information. In the case of Bitcoin, for example, the information relative to the money transfers, sender, receiver, date, amount, etc. The second, something very important, the so-called hash. A hash is the block's ID number. It's a unique and unrepeatable number. Each of the blocks has its own one. The third, and it also has the previous block's hash, which means that each block is connected to its predecessor and its successor. Now you see the chain, right? Indeed, the blocks gradually create a chain. We now know what the blockchain is like inside, but why is it unhackable? For 2 combined reasons. The first, the hash, and the second, many eyes are watching the whole time. This hash, as we have said, is the unique number for each block, but it has one great characteristic. The number is generated according to the block's content. That means that if the block's content is changed, the information automatically changes the hash. Think of it like a piece of a puzzle. Certain information provides a certain shape. If someone changes the information, the shape also changes, which means that it no longer fits and the chain becomes invalid. There isn't just one single database, every blockchain user has a copy of it. Given that many eyes are keeping watch the whole time, if a user alters the information of their copy, the community knows about it, which means that their version of the database is annulled and rendered void. And there's the difference. The security and certification of blockchain documents are provided by the user, not a grand institution, or a bank, or a notary, just fellow users, but many of them, loads and loads of them. And what does blockchain do to attract all those users? Good question. Users can decide to join the blockchain network for 2 reasons. Simply to use the system, or to do something much more appetizing, create new blocks for the chain. Those who do the latter are miners. Many blockchain participants aren't there to use the system's services, they just want to do one thing, create new blocks. These are so-called miners. As new contracts are signed or transfers are made, there's the need to store that information in a new block. To add a new block to the chain, you have to solve a very complex mathematical problem. Solving this requires considerable computing power, therefore miners put their processors at full speed to try and solve it. Once they believe they've solved it, the rest of the community verifies that the solution is correct. If it is, the new block is added to the chain, the information is consolidated and the agreement goes ahead. And most importantly, the miner who finds the code collects the reward. In the case of Bitcoin, it's now 12.5 Bitcoins, a haul not to be sniffed at given that each Bitcoin is currently worth $10,500. But blockchain hasn't always been so popular. In its beginnings, no one paid much attention to it. The blockchain system was created in 1991, but it wasn't used until 2009 when a certain Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonym behind someone who still today remains unknown, used it to build their now famous Bitcoin. But blockchain is much more than Bitcoin. The uses for this system are very diverse. It can be used to sign contracts, vote in elections, store medical and bank records, and many other uses which are yet to be discovered. For example, with blockchain, it would be impossible to falsify the origin of foodstuffs, or hide if the cold chain was broken during transport. Likewise, in healthcare, it would be impossible to manipulate medical records. In the jewellery trade, the ability to trace everything from origin to sale would allow the consumer to ensure they're not buying, for example, a blood diamond. In short, it's a way of storing information with many eyes keeping watch, many witnesses, which makes it difficult for information to be falsified. Blockchain is much more than a simple database. It's a system for storing information outside of the conventional system, a tool for creating a more equal, more transparent and more truthful society.